Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the West Coast Rivalry Podcast, Week 11. We had a bye last week, yes, but we are here. We are back, and we are ready to entertain. It's your boy, Lonzel II, and I am here with my co-host, Mr. Ticker, the
Himself.
Ticker Report.
Come on.
How you doing, mister? How
You
you
know
doing,
what?
Mr.
Not
Ticker?
bad. Thanks for asking. I'm doing fantastic. So fantastic that I could do about 3 or 4 backflips right now, but I just don't want to waste anybody's time because I may fuck it up. So, the Trojans, the USC Trojans, that is. We came through with a victory last night, a very good victory. It was a West Coast rivalry shootout, and we came through with a W, and I am ecstatic. We closed the game with actually playing good defense. Who would have thought? I mean, we have lacked that so much this season. I can't wait to see how we revamp that defense for next season. Maybe bring in some guys who kind of know the USC Trojan way. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a name like Ken Norton Jr. resurface back into the conversation. He is a former Trojan, former Seahawk as well. Is that safe to say, Coach? Right?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, great game. So I am doing fantastic now. I am working on a couple hours of rest, but hey, that's my fault because I decided to stay out and network, and it worked, but it didn't. When you're waiting on other people to do stuff and you're just wasting your time, you really don't feel good about it. But I feel great ultimately because we have one thing that most people don't have. It's called an opportunity to play into the Pac-12 championship game. Zell, gotta ask you, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, since we're on that Pac 12 vibe and we're on that theme, let's go. Big dog energy.
Yeah,
We out here.
yeah.
Um, the dogs dominated, and I went to that game last night, and we still have a chance to get into the Pac 12 championship since Oregon pulled off a sneaky win without Bo Nix. You
Sneaky
know,
link.
sneaky. And we are out here. We got energy, and we ready to go. So,
Yeah. Hey, so I don't hate you, Zell. If anything, man, I always want to support everything you're involved in off camera. But I'll do this for you today on camera. Congratulations. You guys deserve it. I love what you guys are doing. Your new head coach seems to have some type of game plan for you guys. And
mhm.
yeah, very, very, very nice. I'd much rather have you guys winning um, over Mike Leach, just being
Oh,
honest.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Wazoo, you're next.
Facts.
So, let's transition into the NFL since that's what we're here for and
Sure.
that's what the viewers want to see.
Safe.
I got a topic that I have been thinking about, and a lot of people have been thinking about. A lot of people have different opinions, and we're going to give ours. Mr. Jeff Saturday
Mm,
was thrust into that head coaching position for the Indianapolis Colts.
thrust.
And a lot of people are thinking that he did not deserve this,
Mm,
that he was given a job being a Caucasian male,
mm,
given this opportunity when he did not deserve it, when he did not show the merit for it.
mm,
He did not work his way up the ranks. Last they heard, he had a losing season for a high school as the high school coach.
mm.
So a lot of people are thinking that he did not deserve this. And in my mind, I feel like it was a great hire. How do you feel about Jeff Saturday and him being put in that great high position after just being an analyst
On ESPN.
on ESPN? Exactly.
Yeah. Look, you guys. One thing that in life we have to go through things, right? And sometimes we're going to have to go through these things we refer to as adversity. And when we're trying to accomplish goals, one thing that I've grown accustomed to seeing, not just in my own experience, but with other people as well, is that every now and then when you get a little bit of extra success, you're going to get something called a hater that's lurking in the background. And what I have to say today is all I've been hearing is a whole bunch of hating ass people hating on my blue eyed brother. Okay, come on. Shout out to the Colored Eye Gang. I just want to make sure everybody understands that we are a legion. Okay. And anytime one of my fellow brethrens get an opportunity to achieve a goal in their life, which I'm sure he was maybe aiming to be at some point to become someone's head coach, uh, it's always a great day in the building for me personally. Uh, now, many may sit and say that well, there's an issue with this. But then I would reply back to him simply by saying, no, I see no issues. What issues do we see? This guy has a strong relationship with the Indianapolis Colts and ownership, Mr. Jim Irsay. Okay. Who's a good man, by the way. Matter of fact, all the NFL owners are great owners. They know what to do. Okay.
Okay, Steven.
And
My friend
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Oh man. No, but in all seriousness, obviously, if anybody has seen my work, I do believe that the NFL can do much better in a lot of different areas in terms of making the environment more diverse in leadership positions from top to bottom. And what happened this season and last week was Mr. Jeff Saturday got a phone call from Mr. Irsay, and he told him, he said, you know what, Jeff, you've been great to us as an advisor, and I'm not sure if this actually has paid off, but Frank has been calling the shots lately. But we've got him out of the door. And now you don't have to worry about him interfering with maybe some of your suggestions that you've had for us in your advisory role. Now, I just want to go ahead and go back to revisit maybe one of the episodes that transpired when Mr. Saturday became head coach. Well, ladies and gentlemen, everybody got a game ball. Okay. Why did they get a game ball? Because they won. And when you're winning, everybody's grinning. Ain't no sinning. All we gonna do is keep on win, no matter what, when you got the right person in the cut. And what they have right now is a man who really does know how to put a solid team together. I'll tell you by experience. Now, maybe he hasn't had a long resume worth of coaching experience throughout his history of in this is an advisory role. And yeah, he was a high school coach and he didn't do so well. But high school is much different than the NFL. And he's got way more relative experience in terms of NFL experience than high school. I don't even know if Jeff even remember his high school games. He's that old. And one thing we do know is that Jeff did bring a W. So if I'm a fan as an Indianapolis coach, if I'm ownership, I'm happy with my decision thus far. I've got a chance to also watch a little bit of today's game, and I'm seeing that the Colts are actually putting up points all of a sudden. So, he played on the reason why he's going to know how to do this, right? Let's go back to the fact that he was on a championship winning team, and he was with a dynasty of a championship caliber team with Peyton Manning. And anytime you got a guy who's got that championship experience behind him, most likely 9 times out of 10, he's going to know what it takes to win. He's going to know that winning formula. And as you guys can see, he's performed well. The team has caught a W. This ain't about race, ladies and gentlemen. I wish we stopped playing the race card because Mr. Saturday got an opportunity because he was in a situation where he was in a position to get an opportunity. I know that maybe some will say, well, what happened to Pep Hamilton? He used to coach and, he's a great offensive coordinator and all that kind of good stuff. He's, African American. What about the Rooney Rule? Can the Rooney Rule if you got somebody in place that you know is going to bring you good instant results, it ain't about race all the time. I want even my white brothers and sisters to understand that some of us, we do understand that it ain't always about race. And I need you guys to hop off the bandwagon to also come back and understand that it also ain't about race as well. Because I see some of y'all on Twitter. Oh, this is no, don't do the black thing. Just look at it for what it is, okay? Or the other thing, or whatever y'all want to refer to it as. Just make sure you understand that this man is actually bringing some W's to a team that wasn't getting any at all. So, Lonzel, I hope I answered your question because at this time I rest my case.
Great answer, honestly. Um, I feel as though Jeff Saturday is in a great position to motivate the team. And just from the tape that everyone has from him being an ESPN analyst, he showed that he knows the game. He shows that he knows talent. He shows that he knows who needs to be in when someone else is messing up. He knows the X's and O's, and that's what you need. That's what you need in the head coach, not somebody who can just be rah-rah, but somebody who can put a game plan together towards the opposition. You know what they do best, and you know how you need to expose them with your weapons. And I think that Jeff Saturday can do that, and he has shown that he is able to do that with his win last week and his potential win this week, proving these haters wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with it. Just from him being a captain on that championship team, being the man who makes calls with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So when you have that man who you're talking with, going over game plans with every single day,
yeah,
it's pretty plain and simple that he knows what he's doing and that he can get the job done.
It's funny. If you do some research on Jeff too, his old high school coach said in a Sports Illustrated article that 80% of their offense was behind Jeff, and that their defense, they put Jeff on one side and all our other good players on the other side because teams literally ran away from Jeff Saturday when he was plowing guys, literally. Pause. Now he's the new interim head coach, and you know what? He was also familiar about Jeff. Jeff got a little bit of soul in him, man. So much soul. So much so that when I did my background research, I figured out why. He got a little flavor. He's from the land of big booty stitches. Mr. Jeff Saturday is from Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
I swear. And
didn't know that.
And he is he killed in college. He killed at North Carolina, and he under Mac Brown, man. I mean, he killed it. He killed it, man. So good for Jeff. He killed it in the NFL, as we know, of course. Went to the draft in '98. He was behind Bill Polian and those guys in that regime, and he came in and he waxed it with Peyton Paws, and he came out as a victor. And I believe when you got, like I said, an opportunity to be a champion on a very high level. Remember, those Colts teams were scary, bro. They was giving Tom Brady a run for his money every freaking year in Tom Brady's prime.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Next topic.
He was the main reason. He was the main reason for that. I like it. Give the man his flowers. Next topic. OBJ. OBJ. Yeah. Come on, OB. Get in the league, OBJ. You should be in the league. What is going on? Why they hating on Obi? Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Come on. So sources say, and you know how credible sources are, but sources say that OBJ has dwindled it down to two teams.
Oh.
The Giants or the Cowboys? Two
Mhm.
divisional teams, two divisional rivals. I'm not too sure about Giants. I think the Cowboys is a better option, but honestly, I don't want to see him play for either of them teams. I really wanted to see him to go to either Green Bay or Tampa Bay, one of the Bays. I think that was where he should have been. I mean, and he even cut out the Bay, San Francisco. He cut them out. I don't know why. I mean, they got plenty of room for him. I think that he would have been cool over there. But uh, Dallas or Giants, I would love to see him go to Dallas over the Giants. I don't want to see Daniel Jones throwing to OBJ. And if he gets to the Giants, I think it's just going to be a whole can you do exactly what you did for us back in
Totally.
the day?
Yeah.
It's going to be
Over
you better catch
expectation.
everything with, yeah, old expectations. They're going to say you better catch the ball with three fingers. You better
Seriously.
all the practice and everything. So I would really like to see him go to Dallas if those are the two options. Um, Not that I want to see Dallas win, but I want to
No,
see
not at all.
OBJ back in the league. So how you
Sure.
feeling about OBJ and the fact that he's not going to the teams that we told his ass to go to?
Yeah. That's a great question, Zell. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't like the options. I don't like the New York Giants for OBJ for some of the reasons that you just mentioned. Zell, I don't even like him as a Dallas Cowgirl. I'll be honest. Uh, but I do want to see him back in the league. And if he did have those only two options at the moment, I'm gonna pick the Dallas Cowgirls only because Dak can get him the ball, and I'd love to see him play in Jerry's world. I'm gonna be honest. That would be really dope for the Dallas Cowgirls uh, organization. It would make them more exciting. Uh, I don't even know if if I'm even intrigued about watching a Dallas Cowgirl game right now, to be honest with you, because there's no like star players on that team that really just like make me want to get up and watch them play. I believe one of the other things that we're not mentioning also in this OBJ, where is he going to go thing is that something else that's holding him back that we haven't mentioned is that the fact that Nike owes him money 60-60. And right now we're telling the man that Nike owes that man $2 million. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but according to a report by TMZ, the news literally became public Monday on Monday afternoon, with OBJ posting on his social media, and then Nike responding back that he's saying that they literally withheld $2 million from him, and that's what OBJ is claiming. And Nike reportedly replied back and said as to why it didn't pay out OBJ from his footwear. If you guys aren't aware that he has some superb cleats out there, some of the best looking ones, to be honest with you. If I were still a player, I would probably cop a pair. But so yeah, Nike, make sure that man gets his money, and make this man a happy man, so that when he gets back on the field, he doesn't have anything to worry about. Right, and that's where I'm at. In terms of play, where we want to see him play, ultimately, I believe that he should have been a San Francisco 49. Kyle didn't want to make the move for whatever reason. I have no idea. But now that Cooper Cup's gone, I mean, what other options do we really have? LA Rams. Why don't you just go ahead and bring him back? Because I hear little things here and there that you're possibly going to bring him back. I don't see any movement. So I believe you guys, I mean, you gave him a championship ring, but deservingly. I mean, he definitely took you there. And you know, I mean, without him being able to take the top off that coverage, are these guys besides Cooper Cup are able to really get open? I like Robert Woods. I don't even know why you guys decided to even eliminate him out the conversation and let him walk. So that's where I'm at with the OBJ news. Shout out to
No, I,
OBJ.
I really like that. I like that. I like that you brought up the fact that Cooper Cup is out and that they need to be reaching out to OBJ because he did great things for them. When he
Sure.
played for them, he did great things. I mean, he even scored in the Super Bowl right before he got hurt. I would think that would be the first person that they need to call right after Cooper Cup got injured or was ruled out for the next 8 weeks. Like, come on. That's crazy. Why wouldn't he get that call? And
Yeah,
you're allowing him to just walk.
it's
He's
an
right there.
easy decision to me. I don't know.
So easy. That's
Yeah,
crazy. I don't
at
get
this
it.
point, the Rams are. I don't believe they're paying for any playoff spots. I mean, they're too far behind. I mean, what are they really going to do now?
That's it. That's got to
They
be
got
it.
too many
Because
missing pieces.
yeah, they're the missing pieces, and their record is trash. It doesn't look like they're gonna win the West, not the
They're
NFC
fourth
West.
in the
And
West right now, right? I
that's
mean,
terrible.
they're not even better than the Cardinals. I mean,
Trash.
the
That's a
Cardinals
Super
should be
Bowl
better. I
hangover.
mean, what's going on? West Coast rivalry, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Cardinals, you fucking suck. I'm sorry. You do better. I'm tired of playing trash ass teams. Matter of fact, we have to play you guys on Monday, and we'll get to that in just a minute.
Just a moment. So Cooper Cup's out. OBJ needs to be in. But let's move over to this game that is in Detroit, but Detroit's not in the game.
Hmm.
Crazy. It's the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns playing in Detroit. Now, I don't know what it is, but everybody wanted to see a snow game. Everybody wanted to see them pause that snow out the way and let these boys run. I mean, it would have been entertaining. It might not have been a high scoring game, but it would have been very entertaining, to see the snow coming down and these guys running through it. There's been plenty of snow games. Why did the NFL move this game to Detroit? What do you think it was? Do you think it was the fans that they were looking out for? Do you think it was the players that they were looking out for? What are you thinking about this one?
I don't know. I believe that game could have been postponed, maybe pushed to another week, or a different day or something like that, to to maybe bless the Detroit fans who, um, you know, granted they've been winning a few games that we didn't expect them to win. Actually, I expected them to win, but most wouldn't expect them to win. But I don't know. I don't understand the thinking behind it, but maybe they're just trying to cater to someone who we don't have no idea who that person is. And to be honest with you, uh, the Bills going to Detroit to possibly lose, man, is very, very interesting because, you
Mm-hmm.
know, one thing that we forget to mention, I remember having a conversation with one of my guys, and he mentioned how the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen uh, have been operating this season. And he made a very distinct point about Josh Allen. He says, Josh Allen, I feel like I can't trust him. I said, why would makes you feel that way? Because he's actually one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Matter of fact, he's up for MVP, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I believe he's too full of himself too soon. Huh.
Oh,
And he caught my eye, and I said, whoa, that definitely caught my attention, Finn. Let me see what he's talking about. Actually, when I think about it, you kind of make a little bit of sense. And it shows in his plays, in the throws that he makes. He's very Brett Favre-ish, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Josh Allen, I believe, has a insurmountable amount of talent, but can he carry that on when it matters in the playoffs, when it's time to win a game to get to the next freaking level? I don't know. I don't know. And so let's hope that this snow game thing just comes and it goes. I see that Detroit is making some moves outside of their own hood, and you know what? Let's hey, Detroit fans should be happy. They got a free game, huh? And they got a
they
chance
did.
to maybe watch a team that's maybe a little bit better than Detroit, a team that could possibly, win at a higher level or have a higher chance of winning. So you guys should be thanking the NFL right now because they blessed you, and I haven't heard enough thank yous on my end to be honest with you.
They sure did
Jill,
get blessed.
I rest my case.
They got blessed. They got blessed with a great team. I can't say anything about Cleveland being great, but they got blessed with some very notable players to see. instead of their own trash team. Although they are doing pretty well today, apparently. Um, but what I was thinking about this game, and this is just coming from the better in me, do you believe that possibly there was too much money put on
Mm.
the under 41 and a half? I seen a lot of people saying hammer, hammer, hammer that under, and all of a sudden the game was moved to a dome. Maybe there was some money to be lost. Maybe there was something underlying where somebody said, you know what, too much money is going to be made on this game. We need to move it. That's just my thought. I was thinking, I seen a lot of people talking about, this game is definitely not going to be a high scoring game. And these teams just going to be running through the snow. You know, um, Devin Singletary and Nick Chubb are both under 6 feet, and they're supposed to be 6 feet of snow, so they're going to be running under snow. So I think that there had to be somebody making some calls saying we got to move this game. There's no way that we can watch there. We can't have this happen. Too much money to be lost. Just my better thought, and I wanted to see a snow day game, honestly. So sad to not see that. It would have been fun, but hey, it is what it is. And now Buffalo can go get beat in Detroit.
And I want to send this to all of the Buffalo Bills residents, fan base, the citizens of Buffalo. We're praying for you guys. Hope you guys make it through, and hope you don't have to go through any third world country problems due to this snowstorm, because I've seen it's been pretty brutal on you right now. So prayers up to you guys for sure. We need to start
Mm-hmm.
supporting each other a little bit more. At the end of the day, it's just a game.
Absolutely. And hopefully they didn't only stock up on beer. Hopefully they stocked up on some real food, some
Attaboy.
things that'll last you a while.
Attaboy.
Hot topics, great topics. Um, Now we're going to transition into the latter half of the game. So we want to get into the second half just because these other games have been going on. We kind of been keeping up with them and checking in and seeing what's going on. Crazy to see that Detroit is actually doing work. Crazy to see that Jeff Saturday is doing his damn thing. Upsets happen, like we've said. So let's get into Mr. Broncos country. Let's ride
Come
versus
on. Come on.
the man,
Come
Derek
on.
Carr, who they trying to get out of
Come
there.
on.
The Las Vegas Raiders
Come
versus the
on. Woo-hoo. Woo.
Denver Broncos.
Get up.
Let's ride.
Come on.
Denver Broncos and your boy Russell Wilson, I believe, are going to go take this dub. I think that they're going to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas is trash. And we kind of know why they're trash.
Understatement.
Yeah, they're when they're not at home, they're definitely trash. But even at home, they've been trash. And it's been crazy how trash they've been. I mean, wouldn't you think with all the money that you have, you could be a little bit better? But I think they have something that's holding them back, and I think that is Mr. Derek Carr. Like I said before, he is not your franchise quarterback. He's not the guy that you need to be distributing the ball. Um, and sources sources say that they want to move on from him, and they're trying to get a top quarterback in this next draft. And I don't know how that's going to go with him. He's a very um, emotional guy, and I think that will hurt him. I feel as though he feels he is a Raider. At heart, like he embodies the Raider mentality. But last I heard, the Raiders just want to win. Like they say, just win, baby. And Derek Carr can't do that. He simply cannot win, especially when it matters. And so they're going to look towards the draft to replace him because it's been too long. And John Gruden hyped Derek Carr up. We sure did. He said he was the guy, and he kept him around. And now they're not looking too good. I'm gonna ride with the Broncos on this one. As much as I've talked about Russell, I will say that he's going to get the W today. How do you feel about this one, Mr. Tick?
I hate it. I hate it because you had so much to say about Mr. Russell Wilson. Mm, 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 mm. He don't answer his phone. He gotta give the homie the phone number. You gotta get the homie call my secretary in order to get to me. He didn't like the fan base. Let me tell you what that man did for you. Must I remind you like every single time I do? Zell, I want you to do one thing for me, and I want the rest of the Seattle Seahawks fan base to do me one thing. Because you suck, you know that, right? Now is the time for redemption. As a fan base, we're not talking about your team. We can talk about that later. Oh, that's right, you're on a bye, so no need to do it. Um, I want you to call at least one of those offensive linemen that he gave that Rolex watch to. I want you to tell me before Russell Wilson came to your hood, how much and how many did you win and championships did you earn? I want you to keep Sierra's name out your motherfucking mouth. Seattle. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. And how you just let go of my bro. This man gave you everything. He gave you talent. He gave you Super Bowls. He gave you the best portal work in the NFC West for almost a decade consistently. I've never seen this before from this organization. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little envious. As a 49er fan, I said, damn, Pete Carroll might be what people say he is. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. But I tell you what, he was consistent, just like Russell. Maybe he was too much of a rah, 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 rah. But one thing Pete always made sure is that y'all had a solid defense. Paul. Must I remind you, as a man who is not a Seattle Seahawks fan at all, will never ever be, will never understand why someone would want to be, that you guys might be one of the most disgusting fan bases I've ever sat back and witnessed. Because Russell Wilson today will show you once again, like he did before his bye week, that all he knows how to do is win when you give him the right pieces. When you give him a coach that's actually competent, you do realize that it wasn't just Russell that was winning the games for y'all. It was the fact that you had Pete Carroll as your defensive coordinator and your GM. Why do we conveniently forget about what it takes to win and you call yourself a fan base? I don't see it. You're making me put you in the same conversation as the Dallas Cowgirls, y'all. And please don't make me
Don't do that. Don't do
I'm
that.
sick and I'm tired and I'm stressed. Lonzel the second. I need answers. I want to see you do better. I like your sweater, but I need that sweater to be with the same energy, with the same kind of conversation when we talk about Mr. Russell Wilson. Because I heard you say before, ain't no way I'm ever going. He's a man, he's a leader. He's a black man that's a leader. And he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I don't care what nobody says. He's just not having a good season. And so is not Tom Brady. Zell, you asked me a question. I rest my case.
I'm gonna say this one thing. Since I had so much to say about Russell Wilson, I'm gonna say one more thing about Russell Wilson.
Mm,
I heard
mm.
that he was trying to get his coach fired. That he was trying to switch up the ranks. That he was trying to bring his old coach in. Now, does that sound like a great man to you?
Yeah. Sounds like a guy that wants to win to me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, stop the phony. Don't act like you're buddy with your coach and you guys are best friends because you're not. You hate him and you want him out. Period, point blank. Let's go. Dallas Cowgirls against the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
This is going to be real fun. This is going to be real fun because you know what? I low key had a little bit of faith in the Dallas Cowboys. I low key had a little bit of faith in them. There's a little bit of faith in the Cowgirls. And what they do, laid a fucking egg. The Dallas Cowgirls, like I said, are very inconsistent, I guess. You know, they lost to the Green Bay Packers, who everybody's been spanking around. Everybody's been putting Aaron Rodgers on his backside, pause.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I mean, I can't go with them this game. I'm definitely going with the Minnesota Vikings. Dalvin Kirk, my cousin.
Mm.
Let the man wear his chains.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, stunt all over the Dallas Cowgirls. I'm ready for the Minnesota Vikings to put the Cowgirls down, pause, and let it be that. You know, just run them up, beat their asses like they supposed to be beat. And how you feeling about that one, man? How you feeling about this terrible game?
You know what? I like what you said. Terrible. This is going to be terrible. I see Dallas Cowboys actually reminding us that they're actually girls. I see Dak coming out and putting up some numbers. I see Ezekiel running under 100 yards. I see I see his replacement running over 100 yards. And I see that little punk ass smile on Mike McCarthy's face after that W. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowgirls will win. Unfortunately.
Oh.
No, it won't be no more Kirk Cousins busting nothing. Listen, get the chains off of that man's neck. He has no idea where it came from, lady. That is slavery to the white man. Take it off. And he will be dismantled by the Dallas Cowgirls defense. Why? Because they're on my fantasy. Now, they say that this game is all about numbers, but no, Zell, no. I couldn't disagree anymore. Because the truth behind it is that the game is all about percentages.
In inches. Pause.
Thanks for the pause, sir. But hey, take it easy. And today, what I see is the Dallas Cowgirls going ahead and mopping up the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because the Minnesota Vikings today is their day. They're going to lose. Every dog has his day. Free Kirk Cousins, ladies and gentlemen, because today the Dallas Cowgirls defense will make sure that they will not have such a busting ass time once the game is over. So I'm picking the Dallas Cowgirls, as crazy as it may seem. And that's my answer, and I'm sticking with it.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's get off that topic. Cincinnati Bengals versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Pittsburgh has been on a little run. They've been doing their thing low key. Kenny Pickett hasn't had to do too much, but the defense has stepped up and they have won some games. Now, in this game, which way are you going? Because I know you feel some type of way about the Steelers. You got a cousin that loves the Steelers, right?
Yes, she does. And I love her still, even though she has a strong passion for the Steelers.
So strong.
I believe she, which some would refer to him as he, no disrespect, uh, she's going to be very disappointed today. Kenny Pickett's going to throw a lot of interceptions. Zell, can you remind the people who they're going to be playing against?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals are going to come for that W today. Not just because they need it, but because they want it. And the last time I checked, anytime Joe Burrows wanted something, he took it. And if you can remind me where the rankings are in terms of the conference itself and where do they sit? I don't believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting up at the top. Hell, I don't even believe they're second or third. They may be in fourth place. There was one thing that we saw on social media that went viral before viral was viral. And it was by the notorious, beautiful, God rest his soul, Dennis Green.
Hmm.
You know what he said? They are who we thought they were. So Janetta Williams and Marissa Williams, yes, they're lesbians, and that's fine. We support all lifestyle selections on West Coast Rivalry. How could I not? I'm a 49er, for God's sake. And what I'm going to say is this. Today, Marissa and Janetta will be very disappointed. Some refer to her as John, but I know John as Janetta. So, Janetta, if you get this message before today's game, I just want you to remember one thing. Kenny Pickett can't do it on his own. I don't know the rest of the song, but Patti LaBelle said it better. Because when you ain't got no Chase Claypool to throw to, who do you really have? Zell, you asked me a question. I rest my case.
Rest it. Rest it 6 feet deep. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to fucking win this game. Your cousin Janetta is going to be on the right side today. Okay? Pittsburgh Steelers have the one X factor that people are not talking about enough. And no, it's not Kenny Pickett. It's TJ Watt. Now, TJ Watt came back a couple games ago from his injury. And guess what he did? Win. TJ Watt is undefeated. TJ Watt is undefeated this year, and Joe Burrow better watch his goddamn back.
Ooh.
You better be scared,
Ooh.
Mr. Joey, because TJ is coming, and he led the league in sacks last year, and he's still looking for sacks. He's not done. He's still hungry. He hasn't even eaten today. He ain't gonna eat until he gets a sack. That's what I heard. He's coming for Joe, and I feel as though he's gonna continue his undefeated streak, and Pittsburgh is going to win this game. Now, they are in Pittsburgh. So it's a home game. Cincinnati is going to try to win this game without Jamar Chase, and it's going to be tough. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick is questionable, but that's okay because TJ Watt's here. Okay? I'm going to go with TJ Watt in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go, Janetta. Kansas City.
Cute.
And Los Angeles Chargers. How weird that is to say. I still want to call them San Diego Chargers.
I still do.
Yeah, San Diego, Kansas City. They're playing in LA. SoFi. And Kansas City is the Lions. We've stated this already. They're the Lions in the league. They're top of the hill. Mufasa. And I feel that this should be an easy win. I mean, you guys squeaked by them last week, and we spanked their asses. So Kansas City should do just that as they spanked y'all's asses. Pause. I should have paused that.
Thanks.
But yeah, so Kansas City's going to run into LA, into that SoFi Stadium, and get that easy win. Kadarius Toney season. How you feel about this game that's right around the way, right around the corner?
Well, let me preface my comments first by saying this. I like the LA Chargers, most notably known as the San Diego Chargers.
Your second team.
A time when LaDainian Tomlinson was at his best. And I used to love some Antonio Gates. Pause. Must we forget Keenan McCardell and Quentin Jammer? And ladies and gentlemen, dare I mention Lorenzo Neal. Rest in peace, Junior Seau. But there's a new sheriff in town. He goes by the name of have you had your ice cream? Justin Sherbert. Come on. Justin Herbert, ladies and gentlemen, will do exactly what we think he will do. He will lay an egg. Because ain't no way the LA Chargers is beating Patty McFatty. Okay? You do realize that he's the best quarterback in the league, still to this day. You can hit me with the Josh Allens and the Tom Brady's, but I challenge you by saying, what have they done for you lately? Ooh. I don't think you have a clue. Patrick Mahomes comes in. He's got Mr. Tony. He's got Mr. Hardman. He's got some real weapons that we didn't think that actually were going to translate over. Until we saw him do it again. Like he did the year before. And the year before. And the year before. And the year before. Zell, you asked me a question. Did you get your answer? I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, sir.
Rest it. Put it
Thank
to rest. Now, I liked your pick because it was the same as mine.
you.
The next game, though, might not be the same.
Mm.
And that game is the highlight of your week. The beginning of that next week. It'll be a Monday night game down in the area of Mexico. You know, they're gonna play for a home crowd. It's supposed to be an Arizona home game, but it's going to be more like a 49ers home game because who in Mexico doesn't like the 49ers? I couldn't tell you one. Now, I can't say that they're, right about liking the 49ers. I mean, who would want to like a franchise like that? But that's another topic for another day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going into the San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals game. And I feel as though Kyler Murray is not playing. And that is the reason why they're going to win. Okay? Now, Colt McCoy, I know you know about Colt McCoy because the last time you guys played against Colt McCoy, he beat you. Yes, he did. He sure did. He defied the odds. He came in and beat you. And guess what? He's going to continue that streak. He's going to continue that streak and he's going to beat you again. Yes, Arizona Cardinals without D Hop, without Kyler, the little man Murray,
Mm.
they are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and you guys are going to drop back down off your high horse and stay in that second spot in the NFC West. Because guess who got the top spot in the NFC West? Yes, it is the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, it is the Seattle Seahawks. We got the top spot, and 49ers are going to stay in that second spot. Arizona Cardinals, do your due diligence and get the dub, as I predict. How are you feeling about this wonderful, wonderful Monday night game, Mr. Tick?
Well, Zell, my friend, I'm glad you asked. But before I do that, I want to say this. Nelly said it best. Underlay, underlay, mommy, iya, uh-oh. What's popping tomorrow night? Well, I think Zell had the question answered, actually. It will be one of the best of the West. And we tried to give you guys that when we played Seattle in week 2. But it couldn't have been. Would you like to know why? Well, maybe it's because you guys just didn't play. Maybe you guys just decided not to show up. Maybe, just maybe, the Seattle Seahawks didn't even put up an offensive point.
Here we go.
And so when I hear people mentioning how their teams are on top of NFC West, considering they haven't even beat the team that they got beat by, kind of begs me to believe that, leads me to believe that you're delusional, that your team is good or better, or that you can even have the audacity to even talk down on a team that you can't even beat this year. You see, one thing we do talk about on this show, ladies and gentlemen, is that facts are facts. And oh boy, how convenient it is for our friend Lonzo II to just always continue to run away from those facts. He's a brilliant fella, but I mean, how can we really trust his knowledge when he just doesn't want to put that Go ahead and lift your shirt up, sir, so they can see your message on the shirt. Mhm. Big dog energy. Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the big dog energy in week 2, Lonzel? Seattle. I can't hear you. Go ahead and hit me with a comment so I can light your ass up, please. Because if you want to go ahead and look at the tape, I promise you'll be looking at the same thing as me. And it'll leave you doing just like this.
No way.
Hey man, look. One thing I do not make are the rules. Oh, so far fetched. I cannot ever. I don't think they'd ever leave me in charge of making rules. But they do allow me to do one thing that every man and woman is entitled to do. It ain't the freedom of speech, the opportunity to be able to say what you want to say. It's the opportunity to be able to do what, ladies and gentlemen? Tell the truth. And all I'm doing is telling the truth right now. Because what we do know is that if you really think that the Arizona Cardinals will be able to go to our home territory and Viva la Mexico without a Zach Ertz, Kyler Murray's favorite receiver, how about a starting quarterback? The starting cornerback, which is Byron Murphy. Whew, that's tough. We've got some hell of receivers back there. Whew, man. Dare I say, maybe when you're sitting in the pocket, you need someone to protect you. Offensive tackle, DJ Humphries is out. And if you want to continue to talk about protection, let's go ahead and bring the fact that Max Garcia, their starting guard, is questionable.
Mm.
And then you've got this one particular person that we thought was going to be able to change our destiny in Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, that's right. He's also questionable with an hamstring injury. And we also have the main course on the plate, the little fucking 6-ounce piece of steak. Kyler Murray. And he's questionable as well. Now I know you may believe that Mr. Colt McCoy will come
Mm-hmm.
in and win. Because one thing we did talk about in the beginning of this diatribe is that we do talk about facts. The facts are is that Colt McCoy did hand us an ass whooping. Now it wasn't this year, but he did do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta ask you this, sir. Who the fuck is he gonna throw it to? Himself?
Mm.
I want to make sure that everybody acknowledges another fact since we're talking about facts. Cole McCoy has played in the league for at least 10 years, 10 seasons, ladies and gentlemen. At least. And he's barely got 1,000 passing yards in his entire NFL career. 10 seasons. 10 plus, possibly. So let's just say if it was 10, that means that he's averaging about every opportunity 100 fucking yards in a fucking game in 10 years? No, I'm sorry, 100 yards in a season.
Hey, don't write him
I'm
being a
not
right
done,
back.
sir. Excuse me. Thank you.
Go on. Go on.
Now, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, He's not gonna win. And the reason why he's not gonna win is because the reason that I just stated. And the Cardinals aren't good at all. Matter of fact, they hate each other, according to sources. My sources are pretty reliable. I've pretty much never been wrong. Wait a minute. I'm not talking about picks. I'm talking about sources, sir. Don't do me like that, please. I saw you. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish with this, sir. Lonzel II, you asked me a question. Did you get your answer? Because I rest my case.
I had your answer before you even started speaking. I knew who you was gonna pick, but guess what? That don't mean you're gonna be right.
Mm.
That don't mean you're gonna be right just because you love your team.
Mm.
Just because a few injuries on the other side, that doesn't mean that you're gonna win. You still gotta play the game. Now, Cole McCoy's back, as a matter of fact, and he's ready to bury y'all in some Mexican soil. So, yeah. I'm ready for that challenge. I'm ready to watch that game on Monday night. I will be front and center to see the demise of the San Francisco 49ers and all the weapons that they have. It's going to be great. It's going to be great to see a Cardinal beat on a 49er. Kyler Murray, stay off the game. Okay? Get in the books. Get in the film room. And if D Hop so happens to get on that field, you better pray that your Hufunga can make his way over there. Because if he can't, that's 6. You better pray. Hands and knees. Monday night will be a show. Seahawks are still on top. Let me put that out there. We are on a bye, yes, but we are still riding high, yes. Let's go. Should I pause that? Pause. Let's go, Seahawks. We're still coming. We're still making moves. We still got some of the best players in the league, and as much as you don't want to admit it, we still do. Yes, we do. Okina for Defensive Player of the Year. Let me throw that out there. Let him go. All right, Mr. Tick, you hiding in your little robe. I see you. You got your grandma's robe on. So we're gonna buy. Yeah, you guys might get the dub, but I hope you don't. And the NFC West and the NFC West rivalry will be lit because we'll both be in first place. Actually, no, you guys will take it. Let's put the facts out there. You guys will take it since you got that dub. But guess what? You guys will have to come see us on December 15th. You will be in town. I will be in town, of course. And we are going to rile things up. We are going to get it going. We are going to talk to the public. We are going to have a ball. And I'm not going to go into that game because that'll be for later. But it is going to be great. 2 top teams in the NFC West, and the West Coast rivalry is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And just like our viewers, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing. Continue to comment, continue to like, continue to subscribe, continue to share, please, because we are trying to get somewhere and we got some knowledge to spew. Okay? Thank you for your time, Mr. Tick. The Ticker Report is up and going. Big Dog Energy all day. Boldasgold.com. Get your sweaters right now. We're the plug. And week 11 is in the books. We love y'all. And we will See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Follow me on all platforms. One word at the Ticker Report. TheTickerReport. Let's go, faithful.
Night night.